Hey guys, it's Kat and welcome back to my channel. So today I decided to tell you a story. I know it's very original to have story time, but whatever. I decided to tell you a story that happened several months ago. It was actually on New Year's Eve when the story happened, but when it did happen, I wasn't sure if I should talk about it because it was kind of a crazy night that ended with 6 cops, so I wanted to wait for a while to make sure that everything was fine, everything passed, and since it's been like 5 months, I'm pretty sure it's been long enough, so I decided to share this story thing. It was New Year's Eve, and my best friend and her family decided to have this little party get-together thing at their apartment, and they invited me to come along, so I was perfectly fine with it. I was really actually excited because I'd never gone to a party on New Year's Eve. Usually on New Year's Eve, I'm that lame kid that sits in her room and watches Netflix or something until, the ball drops. So I was like, okay, sure, yeah, it should be fun. We'll do some drinking, play some games, I won't get too crazy because for some reason I got this feeling that I shouldn't drink too much because I had this feeling that something was going to happen, and if it did, I didn't want to be extremely intoxicated when it did happen, so I told myself, okay, I'll go, we'll have some fun, we'll play some games, some Cards Against Humanity, I'll have a couple of drinks, and everything will be perfectly fine. It'll be a great way to enter the new year and hopefully start on a new page. We get told that, that my best friend's cousins are inviting a couple that none of us have ever met before, but they knew them from work. And me, my best friend, and her boyfriend have this thing where we don't like to party with people we don't know, and it's because we've had several occasions where it ends really bad when we party with people we don't know. But we thought, okay, well, they know this couple, so it's probably not going to be that bad. And at first, it wasn't. At first, when we met them, it was great. They were really funny people. They were really nice people, and we had a good time and really got to know each other. After that, everybody's getting a healthy amount of intoxicated. We start playing Cards Against Humanity and chilling, hanging out, and just having a good time. At some point, this lady who my best friend's cousin isn't a big fan of comes upstairs. They almost fight, which wasn't a good thing, but we kicked that lady out and we're like, fuck you, get out. So there was that. Which, with parties I swear that I go to, there always has to be at least one person that almost gets in a fight, and it just fucking sucks. Things started to take kind of a turn, and it was because my boyfriend wasn't able to come to this party because he had to work the next day, and he didn't think drinking heavily would be a good idea. And also, he was just barely learning, he just barely got his license, so he was kind of concerned with driving around on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, which was kind of logical. So the guy in this couple that we never knew, that we didn't know, was getting kind of, well, let's just say touchy with me. And my theory is because my best friend had her boyfriend there, and then her cousins, they were married, so there was that. So I was the only one there that didn't have that significant other person. And he kept grabbing me and getting close to me and talking weirdly to me. There was one point where I was playing beer pong and he was sitting behind me, and he grabbed my shirt and tried to pull me towards him. And it started to make me really uncomfortable, and I talked to my best friend about it and to her cousin, and her cousin told me that apparently he had cheated on his wife, who was there. He was doing this and grabbing me right in front of his wife, but she told me that he cheated on his wife previously once before, and so it really wasn't that abnormal that he was doing that. So hopping forward, this guy's wife, or the wife in the couple of the people that we didn't know, decides to go to sleep because she was pretty intoxicated, and they had to drive back to their house later, and she didn't want to be really intoxicated when they did that, which was the responsible thing to do. But he decided to stay up and hang out with the rest of us, which was perfectly fine. As long as I was with people, I was perfectly fine with it. And my best friend's boyfriend got pretty intoxicated to the point where he could barely walk, and they were getting along really well at first, but I guess my best friend's boyfriend, said something that kind of pissed him off, and he picked a fight with my best friend's boyfriend, got in his face, knocked out his drink, spilled his drink all over him, and my best friend's cousin had to stop him, and this aggravated my best friend's boyfriend, and at the same time, it kind of churned up something and started the next couple events that's about to happen. So, a bunch of shit's going down, everybody's getting upset, and he starts getting really riled up. My best friend's cousin tells him that, you know, it's disrespectful that he's talking to us like that he's asking us to sleep with him, that he's basically saying that he wants down her pants right in front of his wife. She told him that it's really messed up. He gets really upset and angry and decides that he wants to go home and he wants his keys. We tried to stop him because he is so intoxicated and just, it's so bad. He can't walk. His eyes are like blinking out of sequence, and it's just, he's so intoxicated, and there's no way in hell we're giving this man his keys. So, you know, at first we think that he starts to relax, and then like a switch, he starts to just get angry again. So he goes in the room where his wife is sleeping, and he wakes her up, and he's like, you know, where are my fucking keys? I want my keys. And he says that he wants to go home. So we just tell him, you know, no, you're not going home. You need to relax and all this stuff. And, you know, we're all yelling at each other. And I'm trying to be that neutral party that's like, okay, you know what? We all need to fucking relax. This needs to relax because this is going down a fucking road that it shouldn't be going down. Something is going to happen. And this is the reason why I decided not to drink, because I knew some shit was going to happen. And so we're standing in the doorway and we're talking. And the next thing I know is he is going at his wife and he wants his keys, and she keeps telling him no. And the next thing I know is I see him lift his fist. Like, I swear to God, I saw him lift his fist, and I saw it go down, and he just punches his wife in the face hard enough to hear it. At this point, we're all freaking out. We're all in the doorway. My best friend's cousin's wife, who is also her cousin, like, goes in the room and hops on him like the Golden Avenger, brings him down to the ground, and is holding him there. And this guy, he's still holding his wife with a death grip, and he's hurting her. And he is holding her so tight that her hand is going purple. He breaks one of her necklaces that he's wearing and rips her shirt. And you can see this red mark forming on her forehead where he punched her. And my best friend's other cousin, who's a big dude, had to literally, like, rip this guy's hand away from his wife's wrist, which apparently, from what I could tell, was really, really difficult. And he grabs him, drags him outside the room, like, holds him, and literally throws him outside in the cold, and fucking tells him to stay out there. The rest of us are freaking the fuck out. The only two people that saw it were me and my best friend's cousin. And we're freaking the fuck out that this just happened. I'm in the room sitting on the bed with his wife, asking her if she's okay. She's crying. She's trying to tell me, no, I'm fine. And I'm like, no, like, love, you're not okay. You just got punched in the face by your drunk husband. You are not okay. So me and my best friend are in the room with her, and her cousin comes in and says, we need to call the police. We're calling the police right now. So her husband calls the police, and it tells them exactly what happened. So this guy's waiting outside, knocking on the door, I need my coat, I want my keys, I want to go home, blah, 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 yelling. And we're all just so riled up. My best friend's boyfriend starts to get freaked out because he was in trouble. He had a warrant out for his arrest, and he knew the cops were coming, so he wanted to leave. I aggravated him and told him that, you know, that this isn't about you and you need to calm the fuck down. He gets in my face, him and I end up getting in a fight, and then it just starts to go downhill from there. We're all arguing, we're all upset. It even gets to the point where I have to tell my best friend, you know, you need to stop being like that. You don't need to pick a fight with me. I'm trying to help you. To the point where I have to hold down my best friend's cousin because she's ready to go outside and kick the shit out of this man that just punched her friend in the face. I have to tell my best friend's boyfriend to relax and to fucking go so he doesn't get arrested because he's ready to kick this guy's ass for talking to my best friend like that. And it's just everybody is in this crazy, hyped up emotion. Everybody is aggressive and attacking each other, and it's just so pissed off that the energy was just so, and I'm sitting there thinking like, oh my god, I am so glad my boyfriend's not here. I can't believe that just happened. And I'm also that neutral party. I start cleaning, because when I start to get aggravated and stuff, I start to clean things and I start to pick up things because I'm trying to distract myself from the situation, because I have really high anxiety. And when I'm in a situation like that where I can feel everybody's emotions, where the energy is so fucked up, I start to get strong anxiety, but I also start to get really aggressive myself. So I had to try to relax myself and be that neutral party. But at the same time, it was so hard to do that when all of this just happened in a span of like 10 minutes. And I just couldn't believe that. And this happened literally after maybe 1:30 a.m. So we just barely entered 2016, and we didn't enter it with jolly, happy, good times. No, we entered it with this dumb fucking guy punching his wife in the goddamn face. We're all sitting there just waiting, and one cop walks in, another cop walks in, and then another cop walks in, and then we find out there's 3 other cops outside. So there are 6 cops at this location. And all of us are like kind of feeling guilty that we had to call the cops. But then I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, dude, like it's New Year's Eve. It's New Year's. I'm pretty sure these cops have been doing this shit all night. And I'm pretty sure this isn't even the worst thing that they've heard of. So it gets really quiet in the room because we're all kind of irritated at each other already. Everybody is picking a fight with each other. So it's like, you know what? We're just gonna stay fucking quiet. The cop asks us what happened, and I have to tell him what happened, and so does my best friend's my best friend's cousin, because we're the ones that saw it. She's the one that got him to the ground. So, you know, we're talking to him, and then he gives us all the witness report papers, and we all have to sit in silence and write down what we saw and all that stuff, the fun stuff that you have to do on a witness report. And then we're sitting there, and we have to wait until forensics gets there, until CSI gets there to take pictures and all this stuff. And eventually, I hate silence. I hate awkward, painful silence, so I decided to start talking. And I started talking to my best friend, and then I started talking to everybody else. And then everybody else started talking, and we started making jokes and laughing and stuff like that, and which was a really good thing that we started laughing, because with everything that just fucking happened, I'm just so glad that we were laughing and making jokes. And we're actually even making this cop laugh, and he's telling us stories too, so we're bonding with the police officer. And then the CSI persons come, they take the pictures, and then me and my best friend find out that we don't have to be there anymore. So, and also I had to tell the cop told me that if this does go to court, then there's a good chance I'm going to have to go and be a part of it, because I was the one that saw what happened. I had to call my dad, and I was like in tears talking to my dad on the phone, and he just told me, you know, go to sleep it off. If you need me to come and pick you up, I'll pick you up, and just, you know, try to sleep it off. And I told my best friend the same thing. I was like, you know what, let's just relax, let's lay down, let's try to sleep it off, and just kind of we will assess everything tomorrow. So we decide to go to bed, and the next day we wake up, and we still have that sick feeling in our stomach, like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened, was that a fucking dream? And for days, hardly anybody talked to each other. Me and her cousins barely talked, her and her cousins barely talked, everybody barely talked to each other, and it was almost like we were all mad at each other, but at the same time we just kind of wanted to, like, process the way we entered fucking 2016. Like, all of us thought we were going to enter 2016 with good times and drinking and playing games and laughing and then going to sleep. But that is not what happened. And it's just I don't even know, like, if that's, like, predicting how my entire 2016 is going to be. I really hope not. I haven't gone to a party or experienced anything like that since then, but I just can't believe. What's interesting is usually when I get a feel like usually when something bad's going to happen, and it does happen, I get this feeling beforehand that something's gonna happen and I shouldn't drink and I shouldn't get intoxicated, because I want to be sober and coherent enough when that happens. And it happens every single time. Every single time I go to a party with my best friend and her family. There are times when I get so drunk that it's really ridiculous. But then there are times when I just get this feeling that I shouldn't drink. Other than that, the party was fun. Hanging out with my best friend and her family is always fun, but it does also support the reasoning why I don't like to party with people that I don't know, because it usually ends really, really bad. And so just, you know, my advice is party with people that you know. If you don't want to drink, don't. And also, don't argue or start fights while you're intoxicated, because it makes it worse. And just don't end your night with 6 cops and having to fill out a witness report. It's just not, it's not as fun as it sounds at all. So that is my advice for you. But yeah, and hopefully going into 2017 won't be so crazy. But yeah, that was a fun time in my life, and I really hope it doesn't happen again. And so yeah, if any of you have some crazy ass stories that have happened at parties, I would love to hear them, so go ahead and tell me. And if you would like to, and you really, really should, you should hit that subscribe button and join me in this chaotic, mad world. And I hope that you have a wonderful day and a beautiful night. And just remember to make everything count, because from recent events that I have heard of, and that I'm going to make a video about, you know, life is short and you should really make everything that you do count. So yeah, and this is Kat signing off. Bye.